Hey everybody, how is it going? It's the Crystal Flaffy, and welcome to a Pokemon Sun and Moon update video. As you guys know, yesterday we got a whole bunch of new information about Pokemon Sun and Moon. We got the first ever actual gameplay trailers and everything for them. And I just wanted to sit here and discuss a few things that came to my mind while watching the trailer and also watching other people's videos to kind of like I watched a bunch of other videos by various other YouTubers to try to form a strong opinion about certain things, you know? But really what I really want to talk to you guys about, sorry if my computer's moving a bit slow. As you can see, I am rendering Blue Kaizo right now. Oh, clicked the wrong thing. I'm rendering Blue Kaiser right now, which would have went up yesterday. No, today. It'll have been up today. You guys already know I like to record things a day in advance, so yeah. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about what I think about the starter Pokemon. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, go watch it first. Go watch it first. It's insane. It is literally insane what goes on in this trailer. I'm just gonna stop for a second while I turn on the fan because it's really hot in my room. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. But I am like boiling right now. So hopefully the sound of the fan isn't like too overpowering. But anyway, as you guys see on the screen, we have the grass starter. The grass starter Pokemon right here. We have Rowlet is what I've been hearing people call it. So I'm going to go with that too. And it makes sense to me, you know, because it has owl in the name. It's an owl. So Rowlet makes sense to me. Now, I actually got my own ideas on this. What I hear a lot of people say is that it's going to be bulky, right? Because it looks like it could be a bulky mon. It's like big, it's round, you know. It looks like it's going to be a bulky mon. But after reading the description right here, that really changed my mind about it. But I'll get into that in a moment. We see it is a grass flying type. It's the grass quill Pokemon. Clearly it's an owl. It says coo and everything. Has overgrow, obviously. We don't know what its hidden ability would be, but I got some ideas for that as well. Now, going the route that if this thing stayed bulky, I'm gonna assume that it would be just like what we expected. It's gonna be a kind of like a Noctowl sort of thing, where it's gonna look big and bulky and have defensive stats, maybe a high HP, so on, you know. But let's read this description. Let's read this description together, and then I'll tell you guys my thoughts. It says, Rowlet can attack without making a sound. It flies silently through the skies, drawing near to its opponents without being noticed, and then lashing out with powerful kicks. It can also attack from a distance using the razor-sharp leaves that form part of its feathers. Its visual abilities are impressive. The darkness of night is no obstacle to Rowlet. It can... Wait, oh, there's only one T in Rowlet? I thought there was two. Oh well. It can twist its neck nearly 180 degrees from front to back so it can see directly behind itself. It has a habit of turning its head in battle to face its trainer and receive instructions. And then it has a new move called Leafage. What that's gonna do, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna do anything too crazy. It's probably just gonna be like a form of like Vine Whip or something, you know, because this thing doesn't look like it could get Vine Whip. So they had to make another shitty grass move for it to get. That made sense, you know? But you know, I just realized now, it makes sense, you know, Leafage, because it's the edge part, because it's a bird, you know, birds have plumage, you know, but this is a grass bird, so it has leafage. There, see? Making connections. But anyway, because of its description, saying how it flies without a sound, it's base, and it has powerful kicks and everything. I'm gonna go by the assumption that when this thing evolves, it's gonna become like a slim, quick ass ninja looking owl thing. That's what I feel like it's gonna become. Because for one, I don't think it's going to be grass flying and a defensive mon, because we already know with Tropius that grass flying defensive, not the best thing you can do. Whereas with Shaman Sky, all out offense is fucking amazing. And then Tropius as well has Dragon Dance, I believe, which makes it a powerful physical attacker. So clearly grass flying has worked better offensively than it has defensively. So I really hope Game Freak goes that way. Even if they don't make it like a ninja sort of thing, sure, just make it a fast sweeper. The reason I say it's going to be a ninja because it moves without making a sound. What else does that? Ninjas, obviously. I feel like it'd be prominently a physical attacker if they go the ninja route because of the powerful kicks. But then it might have good special attack as well. But if they go the bulky way, I don't see it being a physical attacker at all. I feel like it'll just have like high HP, high special attack, maybe high defense, special defense, not defense. And now for abilities, when it comes to, I'm gonna go with like the different ways, the two different ways. First, if it's a bulky mon, I feel like I've heard people say Gale Wings or a natural cure, even Regenerator, but I don't feel like it'd get Regenerator. I don't find that works for it. Natural cure, sure, that makes a lot of sense, especially for if it's defensive. Gale Wings might work too, because you know, if it's bulky, it's not going to be that fast, so having Priority Roost and presumably Air Slash and so on would be very good for it. My bad, I just scrolled down a bit, didn't mean to do that just yet. But then if they go the ninja route or a sweeper route, like I believe, Gale Wings could also work. Gale Wings can also work. Maybe its speed will be really high, like Talonflame, and then its offenses will be a bit lower, so it's not too broken. Just like Talonflame's attack is only like 97 or something, or 87, compared to its speed being like 127. But another ability that I see this thing having that nobody's thought, that I haven't heard anybody else say, and this ability can go for either if it's a bulky mon or a fast mon, is Fur Coat. Just look at it. Look at its feathers. Look at its plumage. It looks like it could have a fur coat or something. And also it'd be cool to have another Pokemon have Fur Coat other than Furfrou, but I really think Fur Coat would work, and it would make sense based on the way it looks, and it'd be really good to have it for whether or not it's bulky or not. Being able to take those physical hits would be so useful, especially because it has so many weaknesses. Grass Flying has, I don't know how many weaknesses. 4 times weakness to ice, it's weak to rock, it's weak to poison, it's weak to fire. That's 4 weaknesses, right? Ice, rock, fire, flying, poison. That's 5. I think that might be it. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure that's it. But still, that's a lot of weakness, one of them being a 4 times, so... And also, based on this thing design, guys, I love its design. It's so adorable, But before we continue, I'm not going to say my choice about which one I want to pick until after I've talked about all 3, so we'll move on to the next one. And the next one is Litten. Litten, I'm going to say Litten. Now, Litten is a very, very cool looking Pokemon, but I have heard other people say, and I kind of agree, that it doesn't look too much like a Pokemon. I've heard people say it looks kind of like a yokai from Yokai Watch, which I can see, but you know what, I still like the design. I like it, especially this thing on its head. This thing on its head is really cool. But speculation, I'm gonna say, based on its color, I can see it becoming like a panther or a puma or something like that, and it'd still be a slim feline, you know, kind of like Liepard. But also, I've heard people say it can look like it might be a tiger, you know, because it has all these stripes and everything. I don't really see it as a tiger though. I doubt it'll go the tiger route. I feel like it's gonna go the panther route, which is cool. Well, either way, I'd be cool with it. But as of now, the panther route seems to make more sense to me. And as for stats, I feel like this thing is gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a fast sweeper. Whether it's physical or special, that's not really something I can say right now. I'm leaning towards physical. It looks like it'd be more physical physically oriented, but I don't know. And let's see, it's fire type. It's the fire cat Pokemon. Blaze ability, obviously. For hidden abilities that I see this thing getting, there's a couple. Excuse me, I just had like congestion going on. The obvious one that stands that I feel it would get is Flash Fire. Honestly, I feel like this thing will end up getting Flash Fire. I don't want it to, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Also, Flame Body is another thing that I heard people say, but if it's between the two, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Flash Fire because it doesn't have any flames on its body. But one thing I do want to point out, I forgot to scroll down here. Let's just open up this image right here. Is this, like, let's say flame thing that comes out of its back when it uses attacks. That is sick as fuck. I love that. That is so cool. Oh, and then also here's Rowlet turning its head 180 degrees vertically and horizontally. Like about the y-axis, about the x-axis, not axis. And here it is shooting a feather. I'm guessing this is it using leafage. That's what it probably is. Probably shooting its feathers out. But we'll continue with that after looking at the other picture. So now let's go into description and then I'll speculate. Oh wait, sorry. There are two other abilities that I heard that I doubt would happen, but would be really cool if it got. One of which is Moxie. Because look at this thing, look at it. It got Moxie. It's got Moxie, so it looks like, it just looks like it fit. And also another one is Tough Claws, because it is a cat. It's a cat Pokemon. Cats have sharp claws and everything. And if it goes the physical attacker route when it evolves, Tough Claws would be perfect for it. It might be a bit broken having Tough Claws, because you know what, a choice banded Tough Claws on anything would be amazing. If you can put a choice band on Mega Charizard X or on Mega Aerodactyl, that'd be broken as hell. So I doubt they would do that as well. I really think it's gonna get Flash Fire. Now let's go into talking about this thing's reading its description. It says logical but also passionate. Litten always remains cool-headed and doesn't show its emotions on the surface. Litten can attack with flaming hairballs. Its fur is rich in oils and immensely flammable. Keep this in mind. I am going to highlight this actually so that we can continue talking about that. Litten grooms itself by licking its fur and then uses the collected fur as fuel for fireball attacks. When the time comes for Litten to shed its old fur, it burns up in a glorious blaze. Now, looking at Litten's design, a lot of people speculate that it's going to be fire dark, which makes sense based on its color. It is a dark colored Pokemon. It has like blackish fur, something that none of the other fire starters have had. And the only other fire dark type is Houndoom and Houndour, and they have dark colored fur as well, with also red on them, or orange, or like a dark orange, or reddish orange, something like that. I've also heard people say Ghost, which kind of makes sense when you think about it. It does look like it could be like a familiar or some sort of animal spirit or something you'd see in an anime, but I feel like dark type would be more likely if they were to go that route. But the one type that I only seen one other person mention it, so I'm not going to take credit for it. It's not my original idea, but when I saw this person's idea, I just it stuck with me. I just feel like this is going to be it. I feel like this thing is going to be fire poison. Now think about it. It sounds crazy, right? Oh, sorry about that. But look, its fur is rich in oils and is immensely flammable. Now, what does darkness have to do with being flammable? What does spirituality with like ghost types have to do with being flammable? Fire isn't flammable. Oil is. And oil is poisonous. You drink oil, like not like olive oil and like vegetable oil and that stuff, but like the oil people use to start fires and gasoline and all that is highly flammable and highly poisonous to ingest. So I really feel like it's gonna end up being a poison type, and it honestly looks like it can become a poison type. It like the color, it's dark in color, and sure, it's not purple or anything, but still poison types can be dark colored too. I don't like I can't think of any dark colored poison types off the top of my head. I'm blanking. Well, Seviper right there. Seviper has this pretty much the same color as it, and it's a poison type. So I really feel like Litten's going to become a fire poison type. Then lastly, for the starter Pokemon, we have Poplio. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Poplio is the water starter. He's a water type Pokemon. He's the Sea Lion Pokemon. Has Torrent. For hidden abilities, honestly, the only one I can think of maybe is Swift Swim. That's the only ability that I can think of it getting, and that's based on its description down here. Also, it looks like that it would get Swift Swim, because honestly, this thing doesn't look like it's going to be walking very fast. So anyway, let's go right into the description before we. Well, no. I'll say the other abilities that I kind of think might happen after I say what type I think it's going to go into. But let's read the description first. It says, Poplio's swimming speed is known to exceed 25 miles per hour. It's better at moving in the water than on land, which makes me believe Swift Swim would be the hidden ability. Anyway, let's continue. Still, when it's on land, it takes advantage of the elasticity of its balloons to perform acrobatic stunts and jumps. Poplio can snort out balloons made out of water, which is kinda nasty but kinda cool at the same time, so I'm not gonna complain. Watch it spin water balloons into playful battle strategy. Both frivolous and hard-working, Poplio can easily get carried away, unleashing enough power in battle to make quite a spectacle. But Poplio's determined spirit means it can usually be found practicing hard on its balloons. And then they go talking about Water Gun, which we don't need to know about. But it is... Oh, one thing to note, that in all of their descriptions, they mention that they have their elemental type move at the starting, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure they did that in X and Y too, though. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure when I got my Froakie that first time, it had Bubble or Water Gun or whichever Froakie's first water move is. I'm pretty sure they started with it in that game. If not, they started doing it in ORAS, but I'm pretty sure they started in X and Y. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it in Sun and Moon. Now let's take a look at this design real quick. Let's take a look at the design. Honestly, I'm going to be straight up. Poplio is my least favorite design of the three. I'm not saying that I dislike it, I just don't like it the most. I mean, I just like the other two more. But when I look at it, look at the nose, look at this frilly thing around its neck. What is it, a collar or something? I don't know what you call it. But looking at those two things, and the fact that it plays on balloons, as seen in this picture here, where it's trapping a Rowlet, and doing all these flips and shit, it looks like it's part of the circus. So, I really think that this thing is going to evolve, and when it, well, obviously it's going to evolve, but when it evolves, I really think that this thing is going to look like a clown or some sort of jester or something like that, which makes me think, well, no, sorry, its design makes me think that it's going to become a water fairy type. We have like one other clown-esque Pokemon that I can think of off the top of my head, being Mr. Mime and Mime Jr. Well, two other Pokemon, but you know, same line, whatever. And they're fairy type as well. So it really leads me to believe this thing is going to be water fairy. But also, looking at its design, I feel like it can be water psychic as well. I do feel like it can be water psychic as well. But I really think fairy is the way it's going to go. I really think it's going to be fairy. I haven't heard anybody else say fairy. I've heard people say water psychic. I've heard people say water fighting as well, which I guess would work. But I don't think so. I really don't think so. I really think it's going to be fairy. And then as for stats, I feel like this thing is going to be a bulky special attacker or a bulky mixed attacker or something. I feel like it's going to have like high special attack and high HP, maybe decent special defense as well. I don't think this thing is going to be fast at all. I don't think it's going to be really fast, especially because it most likely will get Swift Swim, which will make up for the lack of speed that it have. That's how I feel its stats are going to be. Now, between these three starter Pokemon, my favorite of the three, and the one that I will most likely be starting off with, barring like its evolutions end up looking like complete ass, is Rowlet. I really think I'm going to go with Rowlet. I hear a lot of people saying they're going to go with... Well, honestly, like I hear a lot of people saying that they hear a lot of people saying that they're going to get Rowlet, but everybody that I hear talking about it is saying they're going to get Litten. I heard a couple people say Poplio, but I haven't heard anybody really say. No, I've heard of one person saying Rowlet, or a couple people saying Rowlet, but mostly I hear Poplio and Litten. Mostly Litten, because everybody goes for these fire starters, and excuse me, my throat just got a bit scratchy. But I am really feeling Rowlet. I really am. You guys know I love my grass starters. Honestly, my love of grass starters just started the past couple years, but growing up, I was a fan of fire starters as well, but now I'm just leaning towards grass. I was never really a water fan, but the grass starters are my thing now. And look at the designs that they have, and then look at the designs of all the starter Pokemon we've had in the past. Looking at the new designs, we actually have 3 completely original new designs for these starter Pokemon. We don't look at all of the grass Pokemon. They're all some sort of lizard or some sort of mammal or some sort of animal. We got 2 dinosaurs right here between these 2. We have a gecko, we have another dinosaur, and we have a snake. And then Chespin is the odd one out, being like a hedgehog or something. But even the color scheme and everything, it's still very similar. Then you look at Rowlet, it's a fucking bird. There's no connection. There's absolutely no connection. At least Chespin is a land animal, walks on its 2 feet and everything. But no, Rowlet is a fucking bird. Now, if you look at Litten, and then you look at the fire starters, sure, there are a couple bipedal ones being, sorry, not bipedal, there are a couple other quadrupeds being Cyndaquil. Well, Cyndaquil is kind of both. It walks on its 2 legs and then it walks on 4s, so it switches between the 2. But then there's also Tepig and Fennekin, which are also quadrupeds. But when you look at this design, look at its color. Look at the color. It's a dark red and a dark, let's say like a dark blue, a grayish color. It's not black. It's like a bluish gray. But look at all of them. Yellow, orange, 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 yellow, orange. There's no like dark colored starter Pokemon, fire starter. And then when you look at Poplio, this thing is a fucking seal. No legs, no arms, anything. But when you look at all the water starters, they have arms and legs, they have 4 limbs and everything. Whereas Poplio only has the 2 limbs, but you can't even really call them arms, they're flippers, they're fucking fins. So I really love that these are like 3 completely original designs compared to the previous starters. And I am Team Rowlet for sure, for now, at least. Hopefully the evolutions don't change my mind. I really hope they don't. Now, let's move on to the legendaries that were revealed. The pictures on this screen aren't that great, so we're going to go to the cover photos, which are right here. Also, I do want to talk about this picture before we end off the video, but I'll get to that. First up, we have the Sun Legend, which is huge on my screen. So let me just zoom out a bit. Hopefully that helps. Zoom out a bit more. Yo, this image is fucking huge. There we go. There we go. I'll have to remember to change the resolution back to normal after this. But here we have it. This is the Sun cover legendary. Name unknown. So is the Moon legendary. Their names are unknown. They could be those trademark names that were revealed a couple weeks ago or whatever, Solgaleo and Lunala. Solgaleo does kind of fit this one because it is a lion. So Solgaleo, lion, makes sense, but it's not confirmed, so I'm not going to really go with it. First off though, for the abilities of both cover legendaries, honestly I have absolutely no idea what they're going to go with for that. Absolutely no idea. I can't think of anything. I assume their abilities are gonna be something to just benefit their stab attacks or something. Maybe they'll have a weather ability, but I doubt it. I don't feel like they're gonna go drought for another legendary because they already have Groudon with it. I doubt they're gonna do that again because then there's not really gonna be much special about the 2 of them. You know, they're both gonna have the same ability. So I really don't feel like this thing is gonna have drought. Maybe there'll be a new weather type, a new type of weather that they give it. Who knows? But let's go for typing. I'm hearing a lot of people say fire type, and sure, fire type does make sense. It's the sun, you know. Sun is composed of flames and gases and such, so it makes sense. And then I hear a lot of people saying fire psychic as well. And to be honest, I really don't see it. I don't see psychic at all. The only thing that can kind of point to being psychic is the fact that it has like stars and stuff on its face like that, but besides that, I don't see psychic at all. But it's a lot of people are saying that, and I highly doubt it. To be honest, I highly doubt it. It could be pure fire, but I doubt that as well. I don't think this thing is going to be pure fire. It looks like it could be so much more. So what I'm thinking is I feel like we're going to get another type Gen 7. I feel like we're going to get another type Gen 7, and it could be one of two things. Most likely the first one that I'm going to talk about, which is the more obvious one, but I doubt it. I don't know, because they just introduced Fairy, and then this type can kind of... A lot of people kind of say that they'd be too similar. I don't believe that they would be too similar, but a lot of people do say it, and I'll say why I don't find them similar when I say it. But I feel like this thing is either going to be a fire light type or just a pure light type. The reason for that is because it's the fucking sun. The sun gives off the primal source of light in all of our solar system. So that just makes so much sense to me. And what I want to say to combat the people that argue that light and fairy are too similar is that no, they are not. The fairy type, as we've seen by all these fairies that were introduced, are all fantastical creatures. They're all mystical creatures. There are fairies, there are pixies, there are bunnies, and all these different things that are fairy type. Whereas light type, I would see as things being like either a source of light, so like stars, flashlights, inanimate objects like that, but then also holy creatures like angels and stuff like that, or like heavenly celestial creatures and stuff. Whereas fairies are like fantasy, light would be holy, I guess. You know, that's what I think it would be. But that's only if they do release light as the secondary type, which, who knows. The other type that I've heard people suggest, but that I don't really think would happen. I don't really think it would happen, but it's possible because Sun and Moon are both from outer space. They're both in the solar system and everything. They're about things outside of Earth, so I feel like it could be like fire space. I doubt it. I doubt it would happen. I doubt space would be a thing, but it's a cool idea to think about. What space would be super effective to and weak to and whatever, I don't know, but it's just a cool thing to think about. And then the last typing that I've heard about this thing getting would be fire electric, which would be cool. That would be the only actual fire electric type. There is Rotom Heat, but that's an alternate form, so I'm not going to say that it counts. But fire electric does make sense to me as well, because fire and electricity are both sources of light. So it kind of makes sense, but the sun doesn't really give off electricity, as far as I know. So I don't think it's going to happen. And if we... the screen's too small, so I'll show it after. So now that's it for the Sun Legend. Let's go on to the Moon Legend. Right here, this thing, oh my god, I love this thing's design. Oh, I also didn't talk about this one's design. Design-wise, I really like it. I think it looks very cool. I think it looks very badass and intimidating, which is awesome. Intimidate would be a cool ability on it too, but I feel like that'd be too underwhelming for a cover legendary. And I really don't think they're going to go pressure anymore, because they haven't done pressure for a long time. I highly doubt they're going to bring it back. I really do. I highly doubt they're bringing it back. But anyway, Moon Legendary, here we go. Look at this beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, I have heard a lot of people saying this thing is a bat, but I'm going to kind of argue with that. I don't think this thing is a bat. I think this thing is a specter, or some sort of ghostly, or shadowy creature like that. I know it has, bat-like wings, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is a bat. So I don't think this thing is a bat, but it can be. I can be wrong, obviously, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm 100% right, because obviously I don't know, since we have this, the only information we have on it is the way it looks. Now if this thing's type, well, let's say its ability first. I already said that I don't know what it'll be, but I feel like it would power up its stabs the way Xerneas and Yveltal have Dark Aura and Fairy Aura, or something like that. You never know. Or you know what? Maybe they will give these two legendaries aura abilities, just like Xerneas and Yveltal, just to give Zygarde more use, to make him a bit more useful, because Aura Break only counters Xerneas and Yveltal. So if these two Pokemon have aura abilities as well, they'll be countered by Zygarde as well. So it kind of fits. It kind of fits. Because Zygarde should, I feel like Zygarde should get more love in Pokemon Sun and Moon, since it had no storyline. Like, since we didn't get a sequel game for X and Y, I feel like that Zygarde should kind of continue over here. That also goes with the whole Sun and Moon being like the Johto of Kalos, which, by the way, it's called the Alola region. I don't think I've said that yet. I love the way that sounds. Alola sounds so cool. Now for the Moon legendary typings that I've heard and that I've come up with myself, I really think that this thing is going to be, I think it's either going to be Ghost Fairy or Dark Fairy. Dark and Ghost, obviously, because of the way it looks. Like, look at it, it's dark colored and everything. It looks like a menacing creature, so Dark fits, and so does Ghost. It looks more like a Ghost to me than a Dark type, but I wouldn't be upset if they made it a Dark type, because it also fits. So they both fit, but I feel like Ghost fits it more. And then, another thing, for Fairy type, Fairies always seem to have a connection to the Moon in all sorts of mythology and fantasies, and even in the Pokemon games, Fairies are connected with the Moon. There's Clefable and Clefairy, they came from the Moon, and they're Fairy types. There's the move Moonlight, the move Moonblast, and so on, connecting Fairies to the Moon, and so on, even in Pokemon. I really think this thing is going to be part Fairy. It looks, and even in the trailer when they show it, it's like glimmering and like it's shining and everything, and even the purple part here, it's like sparkling as if there's stars in it, and then also in his forehead. It makes so much sense to me. But then another type that I heard someone speculate, which makes sense, like it kind of fits if you think about it, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. This is just like a vague one that's kind of like just like reaching, you're kind of reaching for it. But Dark Ice or Ghost Ice also fits it, because the Moon and nighttime, it's colder than it is during the day, so it kind of makes sense to make it an Ice type. But honestly, I don't really think that'll happen, and I don't have much arguments for whether, like, to justify it being a Ice type. I really think it's going to be Ghost Fairy though, whereas I really think that the Sun Legendary is going to be Fire Light or Fire Electric or just Fire or Light, if they make Light a new type. Now let's just zoom back in so we can get proper shit going here. And let's just open this up real quick, full screen, to take a look at these two real quick. We have this guy right here in the yellow Hawaiian Aloha shirt, and then we have this guy in the lab coat. Now what I've been hearing a lot of people say is they think that this guy here is the professor, and I'm gonna disagree. I really don't think he's the professor. I really feel like he's the professor's assistant. I've heard other people say that this guy's probably the professor's assistant, but no way are they gonna make this guy look so important and be the one to actually hand you the Pokeballs, as we see when we fast forward to let's go right over here or something, or right over there. He's the one that throws the Pokeballs. I really don't think they'd make him be the assistant. If he's the one giving us the Pokeballs, he wouldn't be the one talking to us. The professor wouldn't be standing out in the background while letting his assistant give us the Pokeballs. No. Also, the professor wouldn't be coming all the way to our house just to say hi. And it'd also say Professor Kukui, not just Kukui. So I really feel like the guy right over here is the professor. I really feel like he's the professor. Just saying that now. And I think that's all that there was from the video that I wanted to point out. I love the backgrounds, guys. I love the way the environment looks. The new graphics are so amazing. They really are. Everything looks so good. Now there's something else that I'm looking for that I don't really know where it is. Let's go back to full screen so I can see more. Where's that asshole? Did I already pass it? Did I already pass it? I think I did. Where the hell is it? I don't know. Okay, just a little bit more. Let's go around here. Well, here's what the region looks like, which is cool, and it's obviously based on Hawaii. That's been confirmed. Let's just skip a bunch. Like, it just looks so good. Oh, here we go. Here he is. This guy is obviously the rival character. If you did not already assume that yourself, he's definitely the rival character. They wouldn't have put him in the trailer and made him look so important if he wasn't. He's definitely the rival character, and I love that he's not a light color skin tone. I love that. First, like, main character to not be a light colored skin tone. He's tan. I wouldn't say he's a black guy or a brown guy. I say he's tan. He's Hawaiian, you know. But yeah, I really like that. And then also, right around here, look at these battle backgrounds. Look at the battle backgrounds. They're so fucking amazing. I love that. And then we see the legendaries right here, looking all badass and everything. And then using their signature moves. That's really cool. And then it's available November 18th, which is the day after my girlfriend's birthday. So she's going to be getting me a birthday present for her. A birthday present on her birthday. So that's what's going to be happening. I'm just kidding. But anyway, oh, by the way, between the two of Sun and Moon, I'm definitely going with Moon. I was planning to go with Moon from the beginning. I've always had a thing for nighttime and the moon, just being out at night and everything. I'm always calmest at night. I'm always most productive at night. Everything about the night I love. I've been a fan of werewolves. I feel a connection with wolves and everything. And, you know, just the moon is very important to me. That's not very important to me. It's just like very connected to me. So that's why I was originally planning to go with Moon, but now looking at the legendary, I'm definitely going with Moon. So I'm going to be going with Rowlet and Pokemon Moon. And you guys may be wondering if I'm going to be having an LP of Pokemon Sun and Moon on the channel when it comes out. I'm going to try my hardest. I pressed play right there by accident. I'm going to try my very, very, very hardest to do it. I really am. Oh, sorry about that. It really depends on how things are going for me at the time, because I do have a new job right now, and I'm planning to save up to move in like 2-3 months or something is when I hope to be moving into my own place and everything. Hopefully by then I can get myself a desktop. Not by then, sorry. And then hopefully between moving out and the release of Sun and Moon, I'm able to get myself a new computer and a 3DS capture card. If I can do both of those things before Sun and Moon comes out, I'll guarantee you that we will have a day one LP of Pokemon Sun Pokemon Sun or Moon. Which one I'm gonna play, I don't know. Moon is definitely gonna be my main copy, so I don't know which one. I don't know if I'm gonna want to be the LP that one, because like I'm gonna want to play through that one on my own. I don't know, because I'm not the type of person that can sit down and play a Pokemon game for only half an hour and then stop, especially if it's a new game. Like, I gotta sit there and play it for like 6 hours, but then I can't have like a 6-hour episode, you know, that's just insane. But anyway guys, we're gonna call it an end of the video right there. Make sure you guys like the like button down below for me if you enjoyed, and comment below giving some feedback to some of my ideas, my thoughts, my suggestions and all that, and then let me know your thoughts and suggestions as well, so we can kind of create a discussion, which is probably in the title of this video. But also I want to let you know, are you guys Team Sun, Team Moon, and then also Team Rowlet, Team Litten, and Team Poplio. I keep forgetting the last two names. I just got Rowlet in my head because that one's my favorite. But also subscribe if you want to stay updated for the next video. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you guys all next time.